All right, fam, let's talk briefly about why narcissists love for you to keep their secrets. So, narcissists don't want your loyalty, they want your silence, and there's a big difference. So, today I'm going to briefly discuss narcissists and secrets, why they love for you to keep their secrets. And then tomorrow, we're going to come back and I'm going to upload a video on unlocked the daughter's secret. And so I hope you come back as we break that all the way down, right? So, as you know, if you've been involved with a narcissist, or in a narcissistic family or in a narcissistic relationship or worked in a narcissistic environment, right? And we don't use that as a buzzword. We use it because that's really what it is. It is the Jezebel, Leviathan spirits, right? And those systems thrive on secrecy. They thrive on you being silent, right? Because your silence enables them to do what they do, right? So narcissists thrive on secrecy because secrecy equals control. They're able to control the narrative. They build their total image is built on lies, and they recruit your silence to protect their image. You've gone through what you've gone through, and yet they want you and anybody that's in that system, any enablers, anybody that is in that system needs your silence. They need you to be silent about your experience. Imagine going through narcissistic abuse and they want you to remain silent about your experience. And that's exactly what narcissists do, right? So the moment you tell the truth, you threaten their ecosystem. You threaten their wall of lies, right? Their lives, their livelihood. And a narcissist hates exposure more than anything. They do not want to lose control and they do not want to be exposed for what they do. So narcissists hate exposure because their exposure leads to your deliverance. Their exposure leads to your deliverance. So oftentimes they will guilt you with, don't embarrass the family. It's family over everything. Be quiet. It's in the past. What happens in this family stays in this family. What happens in this house stays in this house. How many times have we heard that? And why when there is a even in healthy family dynamics, there's a sense that what happens in this family, we want to keep it in, or not so much in for image, but in, all right, because we want to protect the people that things are happening to. So there are some idiosyncrasies that, some things that both, whether a toxic family or a dysfunctional family does and a healthy family does, right? But it's done with different intentions, and the motives for what they do are very different, right? You're too sensitive for things you may hear. You're always starting trouble, especially if you're the scapegoat, you're going to hear those things. But what they're really saying is keep covering up our sins so we can remain in status quo, or so that I can keep my status in the neighborhood, in the family, in the community. Every secret that you hold for a narcissist becomes a spiritual stronghold in your soul. There's a saying that your secrets can make you sick. Have you ever heard of that saying? And that is so true. This is why so many people are riddled with addictions. So many people are riddled with cancers, with illness, because they are holding someone else's secrets, or even holding their own secrets. So secrets bind you to their shame. And there is a level of shame that the narcissist projects onto survivors, and you got to be able to boomerang that thing right back in the realm of the spirit. Their shame is not yours to bear, because shame keeps you from walking in total freedom. So here's the truth: silence protects the abusers, but confession protects the survivor. And one thing I always say, abusers support abusers. If you want to know who someone is, watch who they support. Abusers support abusers, enablers support other enablers, and survivors support other Survivors, true survivors. Ephesians 5:11 says, have nothing to do with the fruitless deeds of darkness, but rather expose them. That's not gossip. That's spiritual warfare. So you don't owe anyone silence, especially for things that have happened to you. And a lot of times, narcissists will try to make it seem like you're gossiping, like you're slandering their name. Your story isn't slander, it's survival turned into strategy. And when you speak, other captives hear the sound of freedom. Okay. So, tomorrow we're going to be discussing the unlock the daughter's secrets, narcissist and image. And in that episode, a family's long buried secret comes to life, right? One that is rooted in shame and image and generational curses of perfection and image. So, what happens when a parent's obsession with appearances, with image, overshadows truth and love? Right. So we're going to talk about that, how narcissistic parents or even dysfunctional parents that may not be narcissistic, but they use image as an armor, and how hiding behind dysfunction, hiding behind smiles and Sunday school and Sunday clothes while their children are carrying their emotional baggage. Okay, so we want to be able to unpack all of those things and see what lessons we can learn. We never discuss things for sensationalism around here. It's always what lessons can we learn. All right, so if you're carrying silence and shame, the silence of your experience is not yours to bear. When you begin to break that code of silence, when you begin to tear down that altar of silence, chains are broken in the realm of the spirit. And it not only gives you permission to live and thrive, it gives the next generation the permission to walk in truth, because the truth, the belt of truth, is a piece of armor. Are you armored up with truth? So if you're holding secrets, if you're holding on to shame, that's not yours. And it's time to give the enemy back what's his. That shame, that silence is not yours to bear. All right. So God bless you. Continue to check out my live streams. All right. I will not be live tonight, but continue to on Monday. Right. But continue to check out the live streams. And I'll be back tomorrow with either a video premiere or an upload where we can discuss the daughter's secrets and what we can learn from that. All right. So, and if you need one-on-one coaching, get it while it's available. Okay. All right. Get it while it's available, and check out my website, www.narcfreeliving.com. All right. God bless you. And let's continue to break those chains. Bye-bye.